I took 6 artists to Bali and we made music for a week. Here's what happened. A lot of people in music, we share this dream to be able to travel the world and make music, but most people never really figure out how to make it happen. So in this video, I'm gonna share my experience on how I was able to do it for the first time and what I learned. So the idea of hosting retreat has always been appealing to me, but there are just way too many logistics involved for anybody to actually host a group trip, from the travel to the accommodations to the activities to the studio. There is just so much involved that it deters a lot of people from even starting. But one day, everybody here at the studio, we all got the same email from this company called Tour Hero, talking about how they partner with influencers to help create these traveler experiences. And we all thought it was a scam, because we all got the same email and it just sounded too good to be true. So I did a little bit of research because, it's always been a dream of mine to be able to do something like that. And I found out that they are VC backed, they are a legitimate company. And so I decided to give them a chance. So when I planned it, I wanted a working trip and not just a vacation with a studio attached to it. And I wanted to create it specifically for engineers, producers, artists, songwriters, something just all inclusive, everything planned out so that all we have to do is just show up, enjoy ourselves, enjoy another country, and just create music. And I wanted to create it in a style of basically a writer's camp. I didn't know who was going to be able to come, but out of the people who came, it kind of worked out perfectly because we had a producer, singer songwriters, an artist. Even our videographer was helping out because he also is a producer and songwriter. So everybody was able to contribute in their own meaningful way. So it ended up just working out perfectly, and we actually were able to leave with some real records. The highlight for me had to have been the studio that we booked, because the first itinerary that Tour Hero sent me, they ended up booking a rehearsal space. So I went in and did my own research, and that's when I came across Aya Studios. This was an amazing studio, first of all. They have 4 rooms total. We booked out 2 for the camp. They also had a DJ room that we had access to. They had a whole pool deck with a pool and a bar, and we were right next to the river. It was truly one of the most unique studios that I have been to, from just the owner himself, the creative space, and the workflow. So the main room that we were in had a bunch of synthesizers everywhere, all plugged into Pro Tools, ready to go. Like, we had the Prophet, the Juno 60, we had a Moog, a Nord, and even the B room, the other room that we had booked out, very similar workflow, but all acoustic instruments. Like, they had a live drum setup already mic'd up, ready to go, some bongos, an upright piano, just ready for pure creation right at our fingertips. And then meeting the owner was also very inspirational because he told us the whole story of like how he got there and how he built the place from the ground up and what he was still continuing to build onto the studio. And it was very inspiring for me as a studio owner who has built my own studio and wants to achieve something like that. And outside of the studio, we didn't just make music. We went to waterfalls, we went to beaches, we did a coffee tasting, we went to some temples, we went surfing, we were eating food. Like, one of my favorite places that we went to was, I think, on the first or the second day, we just saw a waterfall, and then they took us to the spot to eat, which was basically like this big greenhouse. You walk in and it's just like almost like a lush like garden or forest. You walk up like these spiral stairs, and they put us like right in the corner, and like all around us was like this 360 view, and the food was amazing. I had this wagyu pasta that was absolutely incredible. I think the bonding that happened was also a real highlight as well. Like, I brought together people who did not know each other from different cities, different backgrounds, and by the end of the week, like, we were actually friends and collaborators. One of those people being someone who I've known for years, who is our videographer who does the content for the studio and for the channel. Seeing him outside of the studio, in another country for the first time ever, which I know was a scary thing for him to do. That was such a cool thing to see, like, and it kind of just made me realize like this is something I want to be able to continue to do for my friends, and to also make new friends and experiences along the way. Honestly, I know it sounds kind of crazy and probably unbelievable, but I can't really think of a low point during this trip at all. Like, some things just kind of work out how they're supposed to. If I had to nitpick at something, I would say, some people are picky eaters, so not everybody enjoyed the food. But outside of that, it was really like a 10 out of 10 trip for everybody involved. And so this was the first trip. I did not know how it was going to go, but this was the proof of concept and it worked. I put my trust into a platform that I wasn't sure about, but it completely paid off. And as the host, my job was to create the environment and show up, and the experience built itself. One of the things that I'm most happy about that I was a creator during this trip. I actually got to participate in the melody, the song structure, the songwriting, and instead of just being a button pusher and an engineer, I was truly a creator, which felt so good for me. And it made me so excited for the next one. Which brings me to the next thing. If you are an engineer, a producer, a songwriter, and this is something that you've thought about, the dream is real. You don't need a label deal or industry connections. As a matter of fact, I am hosting another trip at the end of the year in early December, and we are going to Costa Rica. So, same concept, but it's going to be a different country and a different energy. So, if you want to be a part of it, I will drop the full itinerary details in the description below. If you want to reserve your spot, it has everything you need to know, or reach out to me if you have any other comments or concerns. Until next time, peace.